Welcome back, everybody. We're just, all of us just talking and giving all the opinions on the Halloween candy. Also M&Ms. I am an aficionado on different flavored M&Ms. I get them from all over the country, all over the world. Like, I just love crazy flavored M&Ms. All the candy puts me in a good mood. Just heating up some milk back here just so we can make a cheese sauce a little faster. Okay, a roast beef sandwich with caramelized onions and melted cheddar. Same thing you get at a fast food restaurant, but just make them at home, especially during game season, right? We can make these into sliders for the game, all the things. So over in this pan here, sliced up 2 onions nice and thin, and a little olive oil and butter, and they're just getting nice and jammy and caramelized. We're just gonna let these keep going. Those take about 20-ish minutes or so, and I didn't want you to have to sit here and just stare at me the whole time. So let me grab a whisk here real quick. We're gonna make our homemade cheddar sauce. Got a little butter melting down here. We're gonna start by making a roux. So we need that flour in there, equal parts fat and flour. So we got 2 tablespoons of butter, 2 tablespoons of the flour. I'm using a metal whisk in here because I didn't grab the right one, but at the same time, this is the hex-clad stuff and you can use metal in here, so don't email me. Gordon Ramsay says it's okay, so we're gonna believe Gordon Ramsay. We're gonna go ahead and whisk that up, and we're just looking for this to turn a little bit darker. This kind of, I would say, the color of a sandbox. And I have some seasonings on the side here. We've got garlic powder, we've got some Dijon, and we've got some smoked paprika, and that's gonna make this cheesy sauce delicious. But I want that to turn color. All right, giving my little onions a stir here. I just want, you know, the slower and lower they go, the more jammy and sweet and caramelized, and it gives that just that beautiful flavor. And also on the side, we got the onion buns, because that's traditional, right? When you go through the fast food drive-thru, the onion buns are where it's all at with these roast beef sandwiches. But if you just want to use regular ones, you do you. Okay, so we got some flour and some butter. I like the color of that. Doesn't feel too pasty anymore. So now I've got some of our Lamers whole milk here. Use whatever milk you like, but I mean, obviously, if you're using a whole milk, it's gonna be a little bit of a richer sauce. So I always like to just add a little bit at a time and not shock the system. See how it starts to bubble? Then I'm gonna add a little bit more. So my favorite thing, we're moving to a different neighborhood, but right now we live in Astor for the next couple of days, I guess. And if you've never been to Astor Park area, it is stunning in the fall. Everything is fluorescent oranges and yellows. So we're gonna trick or treat in our old neighborhood, because we're still technically living there. And it's my favorite, probably like in top 3 favorite days of the entire year. Tommy and I will make either, I don't know if this is legal. Can I say this? Like spiked hot chocolate or spiked apple cider. Unless you're a police officer watching this and you can't do that, and then it's just regular apple cider. Don't even listen to me. And we follow, like, I'd say 20 yards behind him. We know people in the neighborhood. Rachel Monick is in our neighborhood. I always run into her walking around. And it is just a blast. The Astor neighborhood, people do it up in Astor. All the neighborhoods are, all the big front porches are decorated beautifully, and the colors and all the things. So I am so excited for Halloween. I just love it. It's so much fun. And my kids are still at an age at 10 and 12 where they don't mind me coming along. I know it's not gonna last much longer. Taking it while I can get it. And then we always go over to my dad and stepmom's house to trick or treat there for a couple minutes, just so they can see the kids' costumes. And then we go to my mom's house, and every year she gets the big Papa Murphy's pizzas that are like the pumpkin shake pizzas, and we've done that every year for 10 years. It's been, the whole tradition of the whole day is so fun. But my kids are getting older, so I know it's limited. Okay, let's add in to our milk here, garlic powder, the paprika, and some Dijon. Let me get a little spoon here. That's just gonna season up that cheese. You know, you could just do a regular cheese sauce, but adding that seasoning in there, I'm also gonna do a good little dash of salt and pepper, and then we'll taste it at the end, see if it needs more. We're looking for a bubble on that. Get that milk nice and hot. Now, this isn't a super thick roux, because that cheese is gonna thicken it up. We've shredded up some cheddar from Simon's Specialty Cheese. They have that award-winning cheddar. I'm gonna take it off the heat, throw it up here now that it's nice and bubbly, and get our cheese in there. Freshly grated if you can. If you can, that would be wonderful. You know what, let's switch to a spatula. I see that making a huge mess. We are, Abby and I are having our kids on Friday. Weirdly, Halloween is Friday and they don't have school that day. So you might be seeing some 4 preteens in here in their costumes on Friday. I'm not gonna tell you what they're gonna be. I'm gonna tell, Abby just said they're not as cute as what they could be. We're at the age where they want a cool costume now. Not really. I don't know what's Hudson's. Sorry, her and I are having a conversation. Just hold, please. Oh, that's right. Okay, Hudson's, he has a throwback one. Jack thinks his costume is so funny, so please don't judge him. Maybe you'll think it's funny. Please don't judge him on Friday. He thinks he's so clever, and I'm not about to bust his dreams. You know what I mean? Let the kid think he's hilarious. Okay, what's it need? I love a cheddar sauce. Okay, I'm gonna do a little more salt, a little more pep. Check on our onions. How you doing over here, my friends? You can do all this ahead of time too. Make this cheese sauce ahead of time. Make caramelized onions ahead of time. Then all you gotta do is just warm up and assemble. So if this is something you want to do the night before, if you have people coming over for a Packer game or something like that, do that. So I'm gonna grab an onion bun here, which I normally would not eat on a normal day, but when you're doing a roast beef and cheddar, you have to. That's the rules. All right, so now we've got our onion bun. You can easily toast these up if you want to, but I didn't heat up a pan, so I'm not gonna do it. But at home, I'd probably toast them up. And I always do a little dab of the cheese on the bottom because that just kind of glues it all together. And then we're gonna take just some deli roast beef, get some fresh roast. If you wanna make your own roast beef and be teacher's pet, do it. I love that for you. But this is supposed to be just kind of a quick, put together, hearty, get that, and don't lay them. Here's the thing with sandwiches. My friend Jeff on Food Network always says, crust to crust is a must. Crust to crust is a must, for sure. But you never fold. We don't fold meat. We scrunch it. We make it high. Whenever you're making a sandwich, this is my worst nightmare, is that flat folded sandwich. That is not what you want. You want to create some drama, create some height, and it just tastes better. And then what I do is I take a little of this melted cheddar, which you can keep hot if you want to, in a little slow cooker, if you have one of those little mini kind of dip ones or whatever, so people can build their own. Always works well. But you gotta get it cheesy. Don't be a wimp about it. Go heavy, go big. We got a lot of roast beef to season up here. Okay. I'm gonna slide my onions off here because they are looking how I want them to look. They smell incredible, by the way. All right, and just make sure you get the crust to crust is a must. Anyone ever hear Jeff Morrow say that on Food Network? He won my season when I was on Food Network Star. We've managed to keep in touch, and every time I make a sandwich, I think crust to crust is a must. So it's a good one. All right, and then I'm gonna take, sorry, Sarah, I'm using every utensil we own. I'm gonna take some of these caramelized onions. This is so easy and it's so good. Just kind of scatter them over the top. Now remember, I told you this a long time ago, but see if you remember this. If you need to make a lot of caramelized onions and you don't have time to sit here and stir 15 onions and let them sink down, the night before you need them, right before you go to bed, get a slow cooker. A little bit of water at the bottom, like a half a cup. Maybe not even that much, quarter cup. Layer as many onions in there as you want. Close the lid, put it on low, go to bed. When you wake up in the morning, 8-9 hours later, hopefully you're getting a good 8 hours sleep, you're gonna go in your kitchen, you're gonna unlid it, and the whole thing is gonna look like caramelized onions except for the middle. They're gonna look a little raw. Give it a stir, put the lid back on, boom, you're good for the whole day. It's perfect. It is a huge batch of caramelized onions that did all the work overnight. It's a secret I've done for catering for years, and it works great. So I'm just throwing that out there for you if you need to make a big batch of caramelized onions. All right, this is going here. Get those piled up. Top it, boom, you got yourself a roast beef and cheddar sandwich that came together in no time. I hope you make this. Of course, I'm gonna go ahead and post this on our website and our social medias afterwards.